Hello everybody, well, it's a beautiful day outside here and I should be working on the garage, but my hand's hurting, so instead I'm going to tinker with the car. What I think I'm going to do is remove one of these wheels and take a look at the brake drums and see how bad they are. So I'm going to remove all of the lugs, and I'm going to take this off and see what we got inside. Okay, first major problem here, I heated up one of these nuts because they're so corroded on there, and I was torquing on it with my socket wrench, and the thing sheared right off. So I'm going to have to replace these hold-through bolts as well, but that's probably a good thing. They're all rusted out anyway. Okay, with a lot of prying, I managed to get the outer rim off it. Now I'm just going to try to get this cotter pin off and get the center assembly in so I can pull the whole wooden wheel assembly off. Well, I did it. It took a couple of blows from a sledgehammer. Just because it was rusted on there, but the whole wheel and brake assembly popped right off just from that one nut. And sorry about the contrast here, but you can see the condition of the brakes inside. Pretty gungy, but I think they can be worked on pretty easily actually. The shoes, sorry about the contrast there. The shoes aren't too bad. There's the brake cylinder. So they just got to be cleaned up and new parts put in there. It looks like the springs are completely missing. But overall, that's pretty cool. Very simple system. As you can see here, I was able to pop the center kind of hub retainer here right out of the middle of this thing. So that would go in there with these, they're just simple carriage bolts. So that was pretty easy to get out. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is I would like to be able to refinish the metal of the wheel without affecting the wood, and of course I'd like to be able to get the rust that's underneath this wood area, but the problem is what's holding the spokes in the end here. These are wood plugs, which is really odd. I thought thered be big bolts here or something. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I might have to drill these out, but I might have to talk to some other people who have restored this kind of wheel and ask them how they did it, because I don't want to wreck them. And obviously these things have to be exactly centered when they go back on, or the wheel's going to be all wonky. Well, I've cleaned this up a little bit, and actually it's in remarkably good shape considering. I mean, these rubber boots here are probably not savable. They're probably rotten. And the shoes are pretty much, I mean, it's understandable. They're frozen after being on there for 80 years or whatever it was, 40 years. But overall it's in pretty good shape, and I'm pretty happy with the shape of these. I think I can fix it myself. And here we've got our brake drum. It's actually pretty good inside. The thickness feels good, but there's no way of telling until I get a brake shop to kind of test it with calipers to see if it's okay to use. But what I did is I polished the outside, just using the wire wheel attachment there. Give it a good polish. It looks pretty good. The only thing is there's a lot of pitting in it, and you're going to have to soak it in rust remover to get rid of that pitting, or the rust out of the pitting. And quite frankly, I don't think I can afford to keep going through these plastic rust remover wheels the way I did with this thing. So I'm going to have to rent a sandblaster or get somebody I know to rent me or give me theirs, because I think sandblasting is the best way to get the rust off this stuff.